court. We have gone over this indictment with Mr. Dahmer at length, both in Wisconsin and here prior to the proceedings. We are prepared to enter a plea of guilty to count one of that indictment based upon the recommendations as set forth by Mr. Slaby. Your Honor, I would also state on behalf of defense counsel that we have received on behalf of Jeff full discovery of all matters covered by the Ohio Rules of Criminal Procedure. We have reviewed the investigative reports of the Bath Police Department and also the Police Department of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We reviewed all the scientific reports that have been submitted in the investigation of this case. Specifically, we have reviewed the coroner's report of investigation with Dr. Cox's office. We've also reviewed the reports that have been submitted by the Smithsonian Institution. We've gone over all of the state, both to the Milwaukee Police Department and to the Bath Police Department and the Summit County Sheriff's Department. The prosecutor's office and the investigative departments have been very cooperative and professional in providing us with all information that we believe necessary to fully evaluate this case and discuss with Jeff. Based upon all of that, Your Honor, we are quite confident that Jeff appreciates what he is doing by entering a plea of guilty to count one. We also believe in our numerous discussions with him that he appreciates all of the constitutional rights he would be waiving upon his entering a plea of guilty to count one of this indictment.
Mr. Dahmer, you heard what the prosecution just said in terms of presenting to the court a proposed Rule 11 plea agreement, and you also heard what your attorney just said, Mr. Villeman. Are those representations correct in terms of your intentions here this morning?
Yes, they are.
Mr. Dahmer, you have a number of constitutional rights that the court will now review with you. It's important for the court to understand that you fully understand what your rights are, and that in the process of entering this plea this morning, that in effect you are waiving or giving up those rights. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
First of all, you have the right to have a trial. Now, at that trial, the prosecution has the burden of proving that, in fact, these charges, as contained in the indictment, are true. And they have to prove those charges by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. By coming forward this morning and entering a plea of guilty, you are waiving or giving up your right to that trial. You're also relieving the state of its burden of proof. You're giving up your right to confront your accusers. You're giving up your right to have your attorneys cross-examine the state's witnesses. You're giving up your right to subpoena witnesses on your own behalf. By coming forward at this time and entering a plea of guilty, you're giving up your right against self-incrimination. If you were convicted at a trial, you would have the right to appeal to another court. If you could not afford an attorney for that appeal, this court would appoint one to represent you. You are giving up your right to appeal of these particular charges here that you will be pleading to. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.